Hello and welcome to the StudyTravel TV studios in London. I'm Matthew Knott.
And I'm Charlotte Darrell, bringing you the latest StudyTravel news stories.
The headlines this week: New Zealand launches international education strategy.
US considering changes to student visa system.
And Australia announces funding for international education initiatives.
So New Zealand has become the latest destination to release an international education strategy.
Yes, indeed. Following on from Ireland and Australia last year, New Zealand has launched a draft strategy setting out the government's goals and priorities for the sector through to 2025.
Unveiled by Tertiary Education Minister Paul Goldsmith last week, the draft is formed around three goals: an education to be proud of, sustainable growth and global citizens. He said he wanted New Zealand to benefit through a high-quality sector and that any unethical behaviour would have to be prevented.
The government also outlined a series of immediate priorities, including diversifying markets to reduce dependence on China and India, and boosting regional growth to lessen pressure on Auckland's infrastructure and exploit capacity elsewhere.
The draft has been released for consultation, with the full final strategy due to be released later this year.
Over in the USA, the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, is reportedly considering changes to the student visa system, including a proposal to make students renew their status on an annual basis.
Yes, according to a report by the Washington Times, senior department officials have discussed the idea. DHS spokesperson David Lappan declined to comment on the specifics of the discussions, but confirmed that the international student program is one of many under review.
A US federal official said that all proposals are at a very preliminary stage and indicated that any change to current duration of status for international students would require regulatory amendment, a process that would typically take 2 to 3 years to complete.
It was suggested that there is some concern about the sheer amount of paperwork that would be involved in requiring students to renew their status every year. In the most recent report released by the USA, there were 1.18 million international students in the country as of May this year.
And back down under, the Australian government is supporting the industry with funding commitments of $3.6 million.
Yes, Simon Birmingham, the Minister for Education and Training, said the funding would support 14 innovative projects to help strengthen the booming international education sector, including think tanks, conferences, collaborations and enhanced student surveys.
Language school sector peak body English Australia welcomed the announcement, which included funding to develop the standalone English language market in China. Brett Blacker, chair of the association, said presently most language students from China were on pathway programs to university.
And now for a roundup of some of the other news stories this week. Universities UK has claimed the highest international student satisfaction rates among English-speaking destinations, according to a report based on the latest International Student Barometer findings. At every level of degree study, the UK had the highest recommendation rates, it said.
Gizmo Business School in Berlin has announced it will offer 4 master's degrees in partnership with the UK's University of Law. Both institutions are part of the Global University Systems Group.
And St Bede's School, a UK secondary provider that closed in 2015, has announced that it will reopen next year, following an agreement with China-based Full Circle Education Group, and will welcome both domestic and international students.
And a report in Australia has claimed that international graduates from Australian universities transition to the workforce at rates comparable to domestic students and earn above average salaries in their home countries.
And in our Grapevine photo gallery section this week, you will find images from events including the BCCIE International Education Awards and Hispania Escuela de Español, celebrating its 15-year anniversary. Congratulations to them.
That's all for our news bulletin, sponsored this week by the Federation of Education and Language Consultant Associations, or FELCA.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back with you next week with more stories. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.